right, deep state link, Soros link, China link. It cannot get more intriguing than that. And now, Hindenburg has shut shop. Joining us for this conversation, Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, a party which has maintained that Hindenburg did a hit job to target the Narendra Modi government more than the Adani group. To give us the Congress view, we have senior journalist Pankaj Sharma. He leans towards the Congress party, joining us live from Delhi. And we had, led by Congress sign Rahul Gandhi, the Congress leading in terms of taking it on or picking up the fight on behalf of Hindenburg and perhaps the deep state and targeting the Adani group and the Modi government, which Rahul Gandhi interestingly continues to do till today. In fact, he picked up the Adani issue in the Delhi campaign also. And we have two fantastic lawyers joining us to give us both sides of the divide. Ishkaran Singh Bhandari, advocate, leans towards the right, joining us live from Delhi, as also Kapil Madan, advocate, leans towards the Congress. And so if I could begin with you, Kapil, is the Congress a little red-faced? Does the Congress ecosystem feels a little handicapped that one more tool in their hands to attack the Modi government is gone?
Abhishek, let me just begin by saying that it is a nonsensical argument, and let me just give you three quick reasons why I say so. When Hindenburg research came, did Mr. Adani file any kind of legal case alleging whatever now you are alleging on the TV channel? At least to best of my knowledge, Mr. Adani or the Adani Industries or the Adani Group never challenged the report in any court of law, either in India or in the United States. It was never challenged by the Adani Group. That's point number one. And I was quite amazed to hear Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad when he said that Adani, the Hindenburg has done something against the Indian state. So what was he trying to communicate? Is he trying to say that what the opposition is saying, that essentially it is Mr. Adani who's basically running the government? I mean, because he himself said so, because the research was against a particular conglomerate, a group of companies. So okay. I think it's they have shot their own foot by making this kind of statement publicly. And insofar as the question of someone shutting their shop, closing one particular business and doing another business, I think it's an individual prerogative. People do change jobs. People do change companies. People, do have, different ventures. Okay. Because Hindenburg is not a political organization. It is, to my understanding, they, do this research work, on commercial basis, because they have commercial interest in, doing whatever they're doing. Okay. But that does not mean if they're shutting shop, they are, being afraid of litigation or something, because at least as of now, there is no litigation against them. Either
Kapil, can I come in now? Okay, so you say that Adani Group did nothing. So I am not holding any brief for Adani Group. We are having a political conversation on the manner in which whatever was done by Hindenburg was used as a political tool to target the Modi government. So that's our debate, Now you say that they have shut shop, people move on, but there are some red flags, Kapil. Now, I'm going through the statement. I was going through the statement and I found something very interesting, in which Nathan Anderson of Hindenburg says that when he started Hindenburg in 2017, he had no money even to pay rents. And now when he's quitting obviously because he has made enough money so that he can think of work-life balance. When you're poor, when you really need to make your two ends meet, you don't think of concepts like work-life balance, You really want to make a living. So obviously he has made some money with whatever he did. Also, more interestingly, Kapil, and I want Ishkaran to come in on this before I go to Sanjay Verma. He says that these were people in his team who had no financial background. They were nice, polite people, but otherwise ruthless assassins, whatever he means by that. And then says, like me, our team did not come from traditional finance backgrounds. If you connect the dots, they were just mercenaries, perhaps doing a hit job on somebody's behalf. That's sort of a giveaway in that statement that he has given, Ishkaran, you think if you connect the dots, there is more than meets the eye. Obviously, they were doing this hit job on somebody's behalf.
The need connect the dots was 2 years ago. This is writ large on their own admissions, and it is not only a hit job. I believe that the government should constitute an SIT which should investigate all those people who financially benefited by this Hindenburg report, and also all those people need to be investigated who used it for purposes against the Indian economy, Indian stock market. That is the least, and that investigation, I believe, will lead to unearthing of a scam of the magnitude, an attack of the magnitude which the Indian state. There are certain politicians who are in a fight with the Indian state. This was a means of an attack on the Indian state. That need to be investigated. I will give you the reasons now why this SIT is necessary.
Okay.
Please understand, Hindenburg was a SPV, a special purpose vehicle, whose purpose was A, to destroy the Indian economy. B, they are self-claimed short sellers to destroy the stock prices and to make money. The third aspect, which George Soros in his own word has said that the biggest setback for him is the re-election of Prime Minister Modi, the second re-election I'm talking about, not the third. Probably now he stopped speaking because he accepted that the person keeps winning elections. So it was a biggest setback. He had a 1 billion fund to fight such setbacks in the world. Today he must be fighting the setback in US, but that time it was the #1 target. So when your plan, if you plan to fight an Indian state, how do you fight it? You fight it by bringing foreigners, by bringing foreign resources, because you believe in India. Every institution is corrupt. Media is corrupt and has been sold out. Daily it's been attacked.
Right.
The election commission is sold out. It's corrupt. EVMs are faulty. On judiciary, they have made scandalous remarks one after the other. So what are you doing? And this has been the misfortune of India from the times of Ghazni and Ghazni, that when you have a problem in India, certain elements seek foreign support, and this is in a long line of that. That is why I started by saying, and I'm ending by saying this, it is not enough to say it's a hit job. Sanju Verma will speak after this, and I hope that the government sets up an SIT, leads punishment, because they were destroying the Indian economy. It's not only about political parties who should be in power or not, but Indians are increasingly invested in the economy, and they want in the stock economy, and they wanted to destroy it, destroy jobs, destroy India's reputation, and that deserves investigation and punishment.
Okay, now before I go to Sanju Verma, I actually want to go to Pankaj Sharma first, because it's the Congress which has targeted the Modi government from the shoulders of this Adani saga. You know, Pankaj Sharma, just yesterday we had Rahul Gandhi campaigning in Delhi and saying that, see, Arvind Kejriwal does not talk about Adani. Maybe because Arvind Kejriwal is a little smarter than Rahul Gandhi in his politics and understands that Adani is not an issue for elections. As in rest of the country, so in Delhi. We have had at least half a dozen elections since the Hindenburg report, and the Congress party has not really won. So, can someone make Rahul Gandhi understand it's not even good politics? Forget about substance of the Hindenburg report.
Adani is an election issue or not, but Adani is an issue. The fundamental point is this, that the contents in the reports given by Hindenburg about the shady financial activities of this business house are factual or not. Why should our government shy in launching a detailed probe? I agree. There should be there should be SIT.
Okay.
Why not a JPC? There should be a JPC also. Why no proper investigation against SEBI chief? See, Hindenburg is well within its rights to shut down its operations. Why should you smell something fishy about this? If someone wants to suggest that they are closing down because of the fear of some legal actions against them, let me tell you, they are liable for everything they have done during the period they have been operational. Seasonal operations doesn't...
Pankaj Sharma, I don't understand. There has been a Supreme Court order. There has been a Supreme Court order. There has been a SEBI investigation. In fact, the probe is on. Maybe the Hindenburg the group decided, or Nathan Anderson decided, that he is not up to the heat. And remember also, Pankaj Sharma, it's not just related to what's happening in India. Before I go to Sanju Verma and ask her about why the government has not set up any probe itself, you know, just yesterday, a Republican lawmaker by the name of Lance Gooden, and he is also a member of the House Judiciary Committee on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. He asked the Department of Justice, which carries out these kind of probes, to preserve all papers and records in connection with the Adani case. Also, just a week back, the same lawmaker Mr. Gooden had shot off a letter again to the Department of Justice and asked whether there was some Soros connection to this whole Hindenburg-Adani saga. So obviously heat was building up for Nathan Anderson, and he's acting holier than thou, Pankaj Sharma. But let me ask Sanju Verma. Sanju, Ishkaran is on your side and he says that there should be a probe. Pankaj Sharma is not on your side and says there should be a probe. Why is not there a probe?
You know,
Yeah,
Abhishek,
different-
first and foremost, no offense to any of the other panelists. Let me make one thing very clear. I worked in the stock markets and in investment banking for more than 2 decades, you know, and I know a thing or two more than the other panelists here. Let me say short selling is a very legitimate market activity. There is no harm in short selling, and volatility is the nature of the beast. In stock markets, you see companies seeing their market capitalizations go up and down. There are volatile gyrations in the market, and if you don't have the stomach for risk taking, it's better not to enter the kitchen if you can't take the heat. Having said all this, let me make one thing very clear to your audience. The reason Hindenburg has shut down operations is primarily because just 48 hours back, the US SEC, which has now been overhauled because of the incoming Trump dispensation with the existing SEC chair, Gary Gensler, having resigned. Gensler, Gary Gensler resigning. Nathan Anderson and Hindenburg were supposed to face a probe by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States of America, their regulatory outfit. Point number one. So it could have been the fear of a full-blown probe by the SEC, which led Nathan Anderson to shut down shop. Point number two, let me make this very clear. There is an ongoing SEBI investigation. SEBI has already sent notices to Hindenburg and to Nathan Anderson in his capacity as the Karta Dharta of Hindenburg. Nathan Anderson had the audacity to malign SEBI and Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Khera, Supriya Srinath, Rahul Gandhi, instead of saying, "Ha, hamari regulatory body SEBI, hum uske saath khade hain." These guys were applauding for a discredited short seller like Nathan Anderson, who has also been facing probes by the US Department of Justice and the US Serious Fraud Investigation Office. So तीसरा और सबसे अहम point तो ये है that the very Nathan Anderson, who is being applauded by the Indian opposition, is facing serious fraud charges by US regulators. And my last point, Abhishek, with your permission, my last point is this. I don't care about Nathan Anderson. I don't care about Hindenburg. But I care about the fact that Nathan Anderson and Hindenburg wanted to pull down State Bank of India. Do you remember? They said that State Bank of India is falling off the cliff because it has disproportionate exposure to Adani. And what is the hard reality? In the last 4 years, SBI's net profit is 1.63 lakh crore, more than the net profit of SBI in the preceding 45 years.
Yeah.
Nathan Anderson said that LIC is going to shut shop. And do you know something? Abhishek, you, me, our parents, our grandparents, you know, there are so many people who have an exposure to LIC. It is India's premier life insurance corporation. And it has more than, 2 times Pakistan's GDP.
Yeah.
SBI has more than 2 times Bangladesh's
Right.
GDP. क्योंकि इनको पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश से बहुत लगाव है, तो मैं बता दूं, SBI's asset base is more than 3 times Bangladesh GDP.
Sanju.
LIC's asset base is more than 2 times Pakistan's GDP, और आपने तो LIC और SBI को bankrupt करार कर दिया था on the back of a discredited report from a short-selling outfit called Hindenburg.
Yes.
That is the problem. You wanted
Sanju.
to pull down the Indian economy, not just wipe out Adani's market cap.
Sanju,
That is the serious nature of the problem.
Kapil, the fact of the matter is, since you are a lawyer, you understand the maxim of equity. If you come to equity, you should come with clean hands. Now, you are trusting a source which is under serious scanner. The integrity of the source is under grave doubt, Kapil. Look at what Hindenburg concealed in its short-selling operation on Adani. They had a financial interest in the Adani group, and they shared their report beforehand exclusively with a hedge fund, New York-based hedge fund. Not only that, there is a political context. The wife of the hedge fund owner is a Chinese Communist Party operative. Kapil, you are in dangerous territory on this.
Let me just say only one thing here. After the Hindenburg report, what we saw indictment by the US, FBI, making another set of allegation, and that's a judicial process. That's not a report, made for the purposes of, making some money or, deriving some financial gain out of it. Now, what did we do on this? I mean, what did our government do on this? There were allegations that there were some, frauds that were committed in India, and that's the reason why there wasn't an indictment there. Now, do you have any answer to that? Why would the Indian government won't investigate?
No, my question is Mark Elliott, was the report not shared with Mark Elliott of the Kingdon hedge fund? Is Anla Chang not the wife of Mark Elliott? Is she not the CEO of a Chinese operation called the China Project, which is aimed at subversive activities in the United States in support of the Chinese Communist Party? Is there not a China angle to all this? Is there not a George Soros angle to all this? Kapil, are you denying that?
No, let me just say, Abhishek, I mean, your response to what I have said looks like you don't know even one piece of information, or you don't have any fact to rebut what I have said. It's like you don't know the answer.
You did not answer my question.
It's an English exam.
I am listening to you properly. No. You did not answer my question. You obfuscated, so I brought you back. You were obfuscating, so I brought you back.
You are seeing how confused you are. I mean,
no, Baba, you obfuscated, so I brought you back. I am not confused. Answer my question.
No, I am sorry. No,
are you denying the integrity of the source, which is Hindenburg, is under doubt? Are you denying the links between Hindenburg, Nathan Anderson, and Mark Elliott? Are you denying that Anla Chang is wife of Mark Elliott? These are connections known in public domain.
You want to? Abhishek, what basically you're trying to say here is you don't have an answer to what I have said.
No, but because you don't have an answer to my question, you're derailing. I'm not going to let it derail. Sanju Verma, you want to come in?
What is the debate all about?
The debate is about Hindenburg being a handmaiden in the hands of the Soros ecosystem to target the Modi government, and that is the debate which you are trying to derail, Kapil, and I am not going to let you do that.
No, I am sorry. Abhishek. I think
he is not making any cogent sense.
Otherwise, you are very thorough, well-read about
Kapil Madan is making zero sense.
Baba, I am not concerned about Nathan Anderson's career and what happens to him with the United States Department of Justice, about which I mentioned how a US congressman is actually seeking some answers from the Department of Justice, to the extent that the congressman has written to the DOJ, don't destroy any papers, there is a probe coming. So obviously you have to connect the dots, Kapil, which you are denying. Pankaj Sharma, my question still remains, did the Congress party play into the hands of the deep state in picking up the Adani issue post the Hindenburg report?
You think the main opposition party would be playing in the hands of some deep state? See, Sanjuji would know it better.
That seems to be the case, unfortunately. That seems to be the case.
But my understanding is that short selling rarely yields sustained profits. A few short sellers then framed during 2008 financial meltdown, but the majority is struggling to achieve consistent returns. So this could have made Hindenburg's business model also unviable. That is why they must be shutting down. And now, if you smell something fishy in this is your problem.
It is not my problem. It is something which is under the scanner. It is not my problem, Pankaj Sharma. The SEBI has sought these answers, and Hindenburg chose not to answer them and wind up their operations instead. Pankaj Sharma, how can you not see the connection between this shutdown and a clear objective of avoiding any probe, avoiding any responsibility?
If Hindenburg has been operating in a legally ambiguous area, it will have to pay for it despite.
Of course, they have to pay for it. Of course, they have to pay for it.
Despite-
And maybe I can ask Sanju Verma this.
Not a
Sanju, you have
problem.
not yet answered whether the government should have ordered a probe like a CBI probe or a NIA probe or something. I don't know, not an NIA probe, but maybe a CBI probe.
You know, Abhishek, first and foremost, I want to focus on a very important point which you have made, which not very many journalists are talking of. The reason I say that there is a foreign hand in the manner in which Nathan Anderson and Hindenburg were operating is because Nathan Anderson has admitted that he sold Adani shares at the behest of Kingdon, Kingdon, N for Norway, not Kingdom, Kingdon Capital. Now, Kingdon Capital's owner, Mark, is married to a lady called Anla Cheng. Anla Cheng owns a Chinese digital news platform called SUP China. SUP China is financed by OCCRP. OCCRP is in turn financed by Open Society Foundation. Open Society Foundation is in turn owned by George
Pankaj
Soros.
Sharma, the Soros
Chronology
link.
समझिए.
The Soros link.
Chronology समझिए. थोड़ी chronology समझिए पंकज जी.
Pankaj Sharma, the
Short
chronology.
selling was
Pankaj
done
Sharma,
at
the
behest
chronology.
of Kingdom Capital. You know, Abhishek, can I just finish? You know, you keep interjecting me. I was just about to
Take
end my
action
point.
against George
Pankaj ji,
Soros.
One minute.
Take action.
Okay, quickly finish, then I go to Pankaj Sharma.
All
Okay,
those-
Sanju, quickly finish. I go to Pankaj Sharma next.
Can I just finish my point?
Yeah.
You know, if you recall, Abhishek, the Hindenburg report came out immediately after COVID showed signs of receding. And what did Hindenburg say? It said that the Indian financial system is about to collapse. Jabki hua kya? You had Credit Suisse in Europe which shut operations. You had Signature Bank in the US shutting operations. You had First Republican Bank in the US shutting operations. You had Silicon Valley Bank shutting operations in the US. India is the only major economy jahan par ek single bank did not collapse due to COVID. And despite that, everybody in the Congress cabal was saying SBI to doob gayi ji, LIC to doob gayi ji, Indian financial system to doob gayi ji.
Kapil, you think there is a clear chronology which indicates towards the conspiracy. Kapil, I spell the conspiracy as an Indian, you don't? I'm saying as an Indian.
So Abhishek, yes. So I don't.
These guys
No,
are
look at the
George
dots. Look at
Let's
the
take-
connections.
let's
Look at the
take the
connections.
logic.
In the month of February,
There
the
is a
report comes.
conspiracy.
Just let me
Hold on,
complete.
hold on.
Sanju, let me complete.
They have
My
abandoned
question is to
common
Kapil. My question is to Kapil. Kapil, you know, in the month of February, the
let me
report
just take
comes.
your
In the
logic.
month of January, the report comes. Just a few days later, a fortnight later, George Soros at the Munich Security Conference says, "Oh, you know, India democracy is in doubt." But then, because of this Adani report, now the democracy would be restored. As if on cue, the Congress party picks up the case. Next month is the budget session, and then all hell breaks loose. And then, since then, you see Rahul Gandhi making Adani a general elections issue. So obviously, Kapil, as a citizen, you would be worrying whether the Congress party is getting its campaign cues from somebody outside.
So Abhishek, let me just take your logic for a minute and assume whatever you are saying is correct. Now, isn't the central government's failure that if there is a conspiracy that is happening against Indian people, Indian state, Indian economy, you will sit idle? You will not initiate any action? You will not conduct, any probe?
There is a probe already.
Those people who have orchestrated
SEBI is the right platform for a probe. There is a probe already.
Hold on. अब आप बोलोगे वो भी opposition
You
ने नहीं
believe
किया.
Nathan Anderson.
I mean,
You don't
how
believe the Indian
illogical-
government.
I mean,
You believe
how,
Hindenburg, but
which
you don't
extent
believe
your
SEBI.
illogical will stretch,
You
illogical
guys have been
argument will
running
stretch,
down
I can't
Bhavani
even
Puri.
assume.
No, okay, tell me what probe you want. Okay, tell me,
No,
SEBI
so the
SEBI
point
is not the
there is
right
a
platform
conspiracy.
for this kind
Hold
of
on.
probe.
Hold on, Abhishek, hold on.
It's a Supreme Court monitored probe, by the way. Supreme Court has said, please go ahead and call the Hindenburg guys. And before that, they shut shop. What more can there be by way of a probe, and the Supreme Court is monitoring it?
Why not a criminal prosecution? Supreme Court monitored probe was what? Why not a criminal?
Well, if the SEBI recommends, why not? If the SEBI recommends that let there be a criminal probe, there could be a criminal probe.
Now Sanju out of nowhere will speak about Rahul Gandhi. Is Rahul Gandhi the subject of this debate? No, you don't want to talk about it. I think it's a phobia of a next level. It's a phobia of the next level that out of nowhere, out of no context,
India is the world's fastest growing economy. You
how
don't believe
illogical this can be.
But you believe Hindenburg.
So Sanju wants to replace noise with logic, but unfortunately that can't happen. Noise can't replace logic.
Narendra Modi
No,
has
Sanju,
Well, I will say
Sanju,
this.
Sanju, the fact of the matter is, Sanju, the fact of the matter is perhaps the government also has been a little slow in picking up the threads. The process has been going on, Sanju.
You don't believe Morgan Stanley, but you believe Hindenburg. Sharam aati hai ke? Nahi. Hindenburg is a discredited short seller.
Sanju,
Nathan
listen.
Anderson is a discredited short seller. Period.
Sanju, I'm coming to the.
Nathan Anderson today.
I'm running out of time. Sanju, hold on. Sanju, let me just. I would have wanted Ishkaran to come. Ishkaran quickly, 30 seconds before I run out of time.
Abhishek, the stock market operates in conformity with the laws, including criminal laws. If you bring out misleading fake information with the agenda to artificially damage a newspaper, supposing you say the waste that is flowing into the water is causing pollution and is killing people, when nothing like that is true, that is not legitimate short selling, that would invite criminal action. And I believe Hindenburg and all those who benefit by Hindenburg need to be criminally prosecuted. Last line. Attacking the economy of a nation is also a terrorist offense. So you were saying good NIA investigated. I do believe there has to be an SIT which has to take all aspects into angle, including economic terrorism, and then investigate.
Maybe the government should have done this a little earlier. I have run out of time. Remember, there was always a case of smoking gun in this entire Hindenburg-Adani saga. The fact of the matter is that there is a probe ongoing already in India, which the Hindenburg has sought to perhaps ditch by disbanding itself. And then there was, of course, a likelihood of a probe getting ordered just in a couple of days. And so they decided to chicken out. Perhaps that's the real story. Thank you so much, Sanju Verma, Kapil Madan, Ishkaran Bhandari and Pankaj Sharma for joining us. We could pack only this much in this part of the conversation we had.